Yo, face. Show your face, please. With sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at HookahAnonymous_. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at HookahAnonymous_. Alright? Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all may know by now, Young Dolph cousin and Paper Route Empire artist CEO Jizzle was shot during a Lil Baby concert in his own hometown of Memphis. Although many fans and people over social media have tons of questions, CEO Jizzle would assure social media that he's alive and okay after he would end up in the hospital making Instagram story posts and going live as well. At first, he was listed in critical condition, and judging from the videos in his Instagram story, he wasted no time speaking to social media because he still had staples going down the middle of his torso. Jizzle will also let everyone know that he appreciates the prayers, but he'd rather you pray for his ops that did that to him 10 times harder. Now here's the thing, there's no doubt that CEO Jizzle's seen exactly who shot him, but of course we know that because of the street code of no snitching, he isn't going to tell the police a thing. But the real question everyone now is asking is who shot CEO Jizzle and why? Then after you get over the why part, the how part comes in as well. How was CEO Jizzle able to get shot at a concert where security is all over and everyone is supposed to go through the procedure of a metal detector and or pat down? And ironically, as soon as I heard of this situation, the first thing I did was think of Draco the Ruler and how he was also killed backstage at a concert in California. Although we don't know the outcome of that situation, I would assume that his family is guaranteed a big lawsuit due to the lack of security provided for not only him as a concert goer, but Draco as an artist. Who is supposed to be a main priority when it comes to concerts or just period when it comes to artistry? The artist. You know? So if you're like me in both instances, you're wondering where was the security? So I want to go over what we know the news told us, then go over what Glorilla's camp has said while she was on live, and then we're going to talk about the possibility of what this was all over. If you're already thinking that this was a setup or it was premeditated, then you're kind of on the border of being right because that's what the news said as well. But as for now, let's check out this Glorilla live and what she had to say or the person in the background. Check this out.
They shot who? Who they shoot?
The one that took Migo chain.
Who they shoot?
Dead or not? Right in front of me. Let's go, let's go.
What the fuck, cuz? These folks just got their gun in the fucking arena, fool.
Jizzle hit the nigga. As soon as Jizzle hit the nigga, he pulled that motherfucker out. Bah! He out of here. He on the ground, they stomping, they done ran over.
What the fuck?
So many of the folks, when I seen Young Mob, I seen all the cliques down there, Paper Route, everybody was down there on the floor.
I'm on live.
Now the reason I wanted to play that video is because the guy in the background said a lot without even knowing that he said a lot. When Glorilla asked who was shot, notice how the man identified CEO Jizzle. He didn't say CEO or Jizzle or CEO Jizzle. He said, quote, the one that took Little Migo's chain. Now pay attention because the way he identified Jizzle lets us know that Lil Migo or someone affiliated with him may have had something to do with it. I know people gonna be in the comments, oh, you saying too much. No, this is what was put on her live and it's kind of common sense. I always tell y'all, if we're able to do this, imagine the people who are getting paid to actually watch these celebrities and pretty much target them. Alright, so like I said, he said the one that took Lil Migo's chain because he knows that whoever did something to Jizzle had to have did it due to the chain being taken or whatever eluded him or made him say something about Little Migo's chain, right? That's like if I was getting into something with CEO Jizzle, they wouldn't say, oh, the one that took Lil Migo's chain because that has no correspondence with us. It has no affiliation, no relation or none of that. Because I have nothing to do with Lil Migo chain, right? Now, the news article or the news clip that covers the whole situation, the news tells us that Jizzle was targeted. So they're on the path of feeling that he was either set up or targeted amongst the concert goers. They didn't say like it was a dispute that transpired into him getting shot. They say he was targeted. So that lets us know that they feel that he was either set up or all of this was planned out ahead of time, right? And that pretty much goes without saying because he was shot in a concert. No one's bringing a weapon inside of a concert where there's a bunch of security, sometimes police, metal detectors, and a lot of people unless you have bad intentions. It's too much of a risk. And all of this plays a part in the fact that it was even a gun present, because that would have to mean that it was an inside job or somebody turned their eyes and looked the other way. Somebody had a blind eye towards what was going on, right? The average person can't get no weapon inside of a concert that easy. And on top of that, the average person isn't going to try to do it because it's too much of a risk, right? And then to shoot someone inside of a concert for a petty reason, like what reason could you really get into it with somebody at a concert where it leads to you shooting them? Unless you see one of your ops, unless it was already planned, unless you was already looking for this man to be there. So it had to have a motive or intent involved. Witnesses say that it happened so fast, and I'm sure it's because whoever approached Jizzle knew exactly what they were going there to do in the first place. Jizzle went live earlier that day. I'm sure they might have tracked him by following his stories on Instagram, or that's just how they knew he was going to be there, period, and somebody looked for him. You know, and it's crazy because all this happened right next to security. They said he was right by the stage. That's pretty bold to do something like that, knowing that security is right there, knowing that cameras is all over this place, knowing that it's a possibility that I'm gonna get caught. But when you go there with the intentions to do something already, you just don't care, right? So we already know that this wasn't no dispute. It wasn't something that just happened inside and the suspect just happened to shoot Jizzle. This was pretty much premeditated. And I don't know what transpired, but they're saying Jizzle must have swung and hit the suspect first, and then the suspect pulled out the weapon and began shooting him. All right, so he probably walked up on Jizzle. Jizzle realized who he was, hit him, but then, you know, the suspect shot him because that's what he was intended to do in the first place. He wasn't there to fight, and like I said earlier, Jizzle knows exactly who it was because he told social media to pray for his ops. If this was a regular dispute in a concert, he wouldn't call him an op. He would have just said, you know, something went down or whatever, or somebody was hating or whatever. He said, no, pray for my ops. Right? Now, another thing I want to highlight is the fact that someone like CEO Jizzle was in fact tried in his own hometown. Some people feel invincible and feel like things like this can't happen to them for whatever rank they got, whatever status. I'm sure that he knew CMG members were going to be there because it was in Memphis for one, and two, Glorilla was performing. So you know it was going to be CMG members somewhere in the area. But another thing I'm wondering is, where was his friends? You mean to tell me nobody was with Jizzle? He was in a concert by himself? No. You know, in his stories earlier that day on Instagram, he was seen with a few friends. So I'm wondering, where were they when everything went down? Right? But either way, this just goes to show you that no matter who you are, what you did in the past, who you affiliated with, what your status is, no matter who you are, what it is, these type of events can happen to anybody. Alright, y'all, so don't just be out here thinking that you're invincible and nothing can happen to you. Always be on your P's and Q's, be focused no matter where you at. As you see, this man was at a concert and still almost lost his life. So you gotta be on point everywhere, be focused, especially if you in that street life, or these are pretty much the results most of the time. Alright, y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all feel about this, what y'all think transpired and what happened. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.